Hello everybody, welcome back to Tone's The Breakdown. I'm Tone, and today, special guest, got Lockie B. So today, I'm sort of going to have a little bit of a look at how particular prejudices are working in our world today. Please go and rewatch. I can't remember which one it is. It's a little bit sharp, number 2, I'm pretty sure. Talking about racism and sexism and all that sort of stuff. But I cover my view on how those terms are too oversimplified and how prejudice is the issue. And today there's a peaceful protest happening here at Parliament House in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I've been invited along by Lockie. I actually didn't know that it was happening, but he's made a flash visit here to Melbourne.
Drove here late last night.
Yeah, so we're going to check that out. For me, I'm looking at it from a macro point of view, but that's not to say that when we've got a macro issue, it's all made up of smaller, more direct issues. And this stuff relating to George Floyd, which I'm sure is on a lot of people's minds right now, and is that part of the basis for this?
Yeah.
Right, so there's a lot of unknowns. But there's a lot of things that we can take from it at face value, things that we do know did happen. But I'm going along because I want to hear the people, and I want to see this movement at work. I've been aware for a long time that the Black Lives Matter movement has been in existence, and I've heard negatives and positives about the movement itself. Not to say that the issues that are being brought up by them are a problem, but in any movement there are some that take it too far. But we can't just label that and say, like I said, we can't label it until we see it, and even then not everyone fits into that. So I want to go and see this peaceful protest. They're not overly common, and it'd be good to be a part of that. I just want to go and educate myself on what's really going on, because there's no doubt if I go there and I see it for myself rather than just be fed what supposedly happened by media and all those sorts of things, then I can bring you my actual thoughts on what I saw. Yeah. Because what we see and what we hear are very important, and so much more important than what we're just being told and fed. This is an important issue because as you shared in your video that's coming out soon, all lives matter. I'm saying that. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm saying that.
But we can't have all lives matter without Black Lives Mattering too.
Exactly, and that's fair. And obviously, the reason why that movement exists is because there are too many that don't agree with the all lives matter, which is what I'm saying. But I'm going to educate myself and see what's actually happening, because there's no doubt that the prejudice against certain races, and in this particular instance against black people, there's no doubt that exists in a level that's disproportionate to how other people are treated. So it matters, and we've got to look at it from that viewpoint. And I'm disappointed by the actions of a few in any case, whether it be this movement or any other movement. The few that ruin the movement when the movement matters, the few, we can't let them actually spoil and make us lose focus on actually looking at each issue on its merits.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going, because honestly, when I first heard about some of the things that the movement Black Lives Matter were actually doing, I was very disappointed. But I was not educated fully in that instance, and I was only ever hearing about how some media outlets were viewing the few that were tainting the actual information and making it look like a militant movement, when there's some that in any movement can take it to an extreme. But the extreme views of some can detract from the actual issue, which is at the bedrock of what that's why I'm going. I want to see it. I want to hear it, and by all means, black lives definitely matter, just the same as everybody's life matters. That's why I will qualify what I'm saying by saying that, because I know, as you indicated to me, some would hate the fact that I'd say something like all lives matter, when really that should be a simple thing we should understand. The only reason that a movement that is required, like Black Lives Matter, is because there's too many people that aren't black not understanding the fact that everybody matters. That's the problem. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share for the start of this. There's going to be some clips and everything like that.
And then a roundup at the end?
Yeah. So thank you for joining both of us today for this special episode of Tones to Breakdown. And we will get that stuff to you. Jeeps? Yeah, D2. So, not quite sure if you're able to hear what was being said before there, but it was they're saying always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Yeah. Okay, so we're just heading out now. Gonna try and the main part of the protest is done, and we're just gonna head out, get back to where we parked the car, and try and beat the major part of the traffic. There's going to be a fair bit of that. They're going to set up a ceremony of some sort. They talked about, some uncles or something going to have some smoke and all that sort of thing to heal the land. In the last speech there, they were talking about this being, we were able to have this march because we had permission from Aboriginal elders. There was also some talk about the elders since right back day dot, talking about always saying that they need to protect country.
Police are out.
Probably want to. Yep. Probably want to dissect that a little bit on the breakdown, because what was I going to say? There was a point made. What do I say? We were talking about. Oh yes, that's right. So they're talking about elders and that, talking about taking care of children and that, and connecting it also with being told to take care of the land, to protect the land and to heal the land. And then there was certainly they couldn't leave out the fact that it's the oldest civilization in the world. Now, other civilizations are verifiable in a number of different ways, but this one being as old as they say Look, I want to dissect that a little bit, I think. That's something to research, and it's something to understand the truth of, because that was being pushed a lot in that last little bit. And you'll be able to check out, I assume that was recorded as well. It's not just a stream, but it can be looked at later on. Is that correct?
Sorry.
What your stream that you did?
I didn't know it got deleted.
Oh, why is that?
Oh, the Twitch was playing up.
Oh,
app.
Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have that footage then, because I was going to refer you to Lockie B's or King Dreamer's Twitch. Where's it on? Oh, back there. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't catch that footage, and I was too busy listening. I wasn't actually recording it. Some questionable stuff in that last little bit there, and it always matters. It's always a very strong point to understand that it's always very important how things like this finish, the message that everyone's left with. And like I say, there was some questionable stuff in that last little speech. There was a lot of stuff in there. Unfortunately, I haven't got it recorded, but I have made some.
This is gonna be sort of like a vlog as well. He's gonna use some of my footage.
Yeah. So, but that's something to take away. When there's a message being given, the takeaway at the very end of those messages are the things that people actually retain the most. And that's why it was a little bit concerning to me that there was some questionable detail and questionable message coming in that last little bit before they went on their final little bit of march. So anyway, we'll look at that. I'll look over the footage and everything before I actually bring the full edit. But yep, it's been interesting. And if you ever want to, figure out what's going on, always go to where it's happening and see it for yourself. But until we get to the next part of this video, thanks for joining me again. We'll try and find ourselves a way out of this maze. Hi everybody, we've just got back from the protest this afternoon, and Lockie has just headed off back home. Got a bit of a long drive ahead of him, but would like to just thank him once again for first inviting me along and letting me know that it was even happening. Because like I'd mentioned before, perhaps when I was talking about the stuff at the start of this video, I haven't been watching the media a whole lot in the last 2 weeks or so, and so I missed all about that. I'd heard the name Floyd and everything like that, but I didn't realise just how wide it had reached. Now, it's occurred to me that the footage that I've taken there, some footage that Lockie has taken while we were there, and all of that was probably just enough to make just one video. And it would be good to give myself just a little bit longer to think about and really put together my thoughts on what it actually looks like. There was some disturbing parts to today, and then there was some obvious parts that are clear and true and do need to be recognised and understood. But I think it's better if we just do this in a two-part video series. Thanks in advance to Lockie B, the King Dreamer. He's going to be editing this video. It's going to be a little bit beyond my editing skills at this stage. So thank you in advance to Lockie for putting it all together. I'm sure it'll be a little bit better than what I usually put out in terms of editing. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack. There's an awful lot to unpack with what we saw today. Very much so. And in terms of Floyd's family, feel sorry for him. No one deserves to die like that at all. And we need to understand the elements that go into this. They're never simple issues. And of course, a big group coming together to protest about it is one thing. But there was some undertones all through what was being shared in different speeches throughout the afternoon at various places where we stopped, where there was stuff that was not directly related, that was being purported to be directly related and to be of equal significance and all of that, which really muddied the water. And as I've said to you in my first video on this channel, I endeavour to unmuddy the water. We can only muddy the water when there's mud to stir up, and that's what was going on. We need to be able to look at this from a broad view. It's not an isolated case. There are many different angles to this that I really want to dissect, and it's going to take some time to put that together for you. Because it's not just good enough to say Black Lives Matter and leave it at that. It's not enough. It's not enough because there's so much more involved with this than just that. And of course, it was proven to be true by the other things that were being brought in to what we saw today. Anyway, I just want to leave that with you because if I don't leave it at this point, part 2, I'm going to already be starting into part 2. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, but I hope it's been informative. If you weren't able to be there, I'm bringing you what happened. And please, by all means, go and check out the King Dreamer, LB, Lockie B's channel. Please go and check that out. He's also done a video there. He managed to capture some good footage as well, some of which he's offered to put into this video for me. But please go and check out his channel. Check out that particular video. I'm sure you'll find it informative. Draw your own conclusions. Be a critical thinker. Don't just swallow what the narrative tells you to believe. And until next time, or especially until part 2 comes out, God bless you. Thank you for being here on Tones the Breakdown. I'm Tone, and thank you once again. Be safe, love one another, and until then, see you next time. Bye for now.